Good morning. This is George Shears. Welcome to my blog and to a very special guided meditation. It's a beautiful midsummer morning here in my retirement paradise in northern Minnesota, which is my absolute favorite time to engage in formal mindfulness meditation practice. And on this particularly gorgeous morning, I want to invite you to join me in a special guided meditation that I call the meditation on Sparkle Lake. I consider this to be an example of what my main meditation teacher, Shinzen Young, calls focus on expansion and contraction. First, a little bit of background. A few years back, when my eldest grandson, Zach, was absolutely engrossed in Pokemon, I playfully created some extra characters from the North Woods to add to his long list of characters. And two of them were Sparkle Lake and Popplewind. And they both have their special abode here in the little lake that on the shores of which we live, called Pioneer Lake. And if you're familiar with Pokemon, you'll know that all of the characters have some special power and that they can be called upon to do marvelous feats. Well, not surprisingly, the special power of Sparkle Lake is sparkle power. But unlike the other characters, Sparkle Lake is only available when his good buddy Popplewind is also available. And it turns out that this morning is one of those rare magical occasions, and we can call upon them for a very special meditative empowerment. So without further ado, I'm going to turn the camera now so you can have a full view of Sparkle Lake as the sun rises over our beautiful little Pioneer Lake. And there's Sparkle Lake in his full glory. So here is Sparkle Lake. And now as you prepare to view this scene on the screen before you, I invite you to sit in what I like to call a relaxed but dignified posture. That is, with your spine straight and your head evenly balanced on your spine. Next, I suggest that you close your eyes gently for a short period, and then slowly scan your body with full awareness from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And as you do so, I encourage you to consciously let go of any tension you become aware of. As an aid to doing this, you might imagine that your awareness is like a warm light that gently melts away whatever tension it encounters, and that this melted tension then drains progressively downward through your body, ultimately flowing out through the soles of your feet. So just allowing your body to relax naturally as you slowly scan it in this way. As you naturally relax, you may become aware of wanting to take one or more natural deep breaths. If this happens naturally, please go with it, but also please don't force it in any way. Very good. Now I invite you to gently open your eyes again and begin to focus on the scene of Sparkle Lake before you. In doing so, I suggest that you allow your eyes to soften a bit into what is sometimes called far mountain gazing. That is, just letting them become a little bit unfocused. And then I invite you to consciously let go of all preconceptions of what you're viewing as you focus specifically on the vast array of ever-changing sparkles before you. As you do so, you're likely to notice that each of them is star-shaped and that they are constantly arising and passing away, each one having a lifetime of only a fraction of a second. What you are seeing here is purely the result of light waves interacting with water waves. As you continue to view this natural flow of impermanence with moment-to-moment awareness, I invite you to recognize that what you are observing here is just one striking example of the universal principle of expansion and contraction that is at the very heart of the entire cosmos. It manifests itself in literally endless ways at every level of scale, ranging from nanoseconds to vast eons of time. Once you have clearly recognized this key principle, you will be able to observe how it manifests unceasingly in both the inner and outer worlds of great nature. In a very important sense, what you are observing here with Sparkle Lake is a microcosmic version of how actual stars come into being and pass away macroscopically over vast eons of time. Now, if your perception were adequately refined, you would witness this same constant expansion and contraction through all of your senses on a moment-to-moment basis. Moreover, you would recognize that awareness itself is also constantly expanding and contracting in the very same way. You would come to recognize, in other words, that just as with Sparkle Lake, there are no fixed things to be found anywhere. Rather, you would gain deep insight that all supposed quote-unquote things, including you conventionally, as you know yourself, are actually ever-changing processes or activities, expanding out of and contracting back into what could be called a common womb or source. In gaining this deep insight, you would come to know experientially your essential oneness with all beings and actually with all supposed quote-unquote things. And with this deep experiential knowing would come a complete cessation of all suffering, accompanied by equally great bliss. And basic mindfulness, practiced ardently and consistently, is a well-proven pathway that leads to this ultimate form of freedom. I invite you to recognize then, to whatever degree you are able, that this meditation on Sparkle Lake has offered you a tiny, but I think an accurately important glimpse of what might be called the nature of nature. This view might be likened somewhat to that of a mountain climber's base camp view of the summit of a tall mountain that presents itself to be climbed. If this meditation has inspired you and or piqued your curiosity to delve into this topic more deeply, I strongly encourage you to view Shinzen Young's series of 4 videos on expansion and contraction, the first of which you'll find below. And please leave any questions or comments you may have at the bottom of this page. I thank you so much for joining me in this special meditative empowerment. May all beings share equally in the merits of this meditation. Namaste.